Good.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to start sharing my screen.
Mhm.
Let me know. It's not turned on.
Okay.
I already sent my request.
Mhm.
Okay, now. Perfect. Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yep, you can see it.
Okay, let me present. Okay, now, Professor, can you see it as well?
Yes.
Perfect. Then I'm going to start.
Okay.
Welcome to the presentation of the Strategic Consulting Project, Advancing Soft Skills for Higher Global Impact. This project starts demonstrating the relevance of soft skills in our daily lives. It will continue diving into a new methodology to measure them and ends by suggesting different ways how IITTI can spread it around the world. First, it's critical to understand what soft skills are. They are non-technical abilities that shape our interaction and communication with others. Some examples are creativity, proactivity, collaboration, empathy, creative thinking, and others. It's possible to identify soft skills in our daily lives. For instance, in the news, when we see that what's happening in the ongoing war in the Middle East and then Canada pushes to de-escalate it, we can say that the most relevant soft skills in play in that case are conflict management, cultural awareness, because USA and Iran live under different set of values and traditions, communication skills, which is the most relevant tool in diplomacy, and system thinking, because it evaluates how a situation may directly affect other stakeholders directly, or indirectly we can affect other parties, and also be aware of potential consequences, because for every action, as we know, there is a reaction. The same analysis is possible to be done for every single new, such as the agreement signed by the province of BC recognizing rights over its land in favor of the Musqueam indigenous nation, or when the government of Australia takes preventive measures before a potential natural disaster. Why are soft skills important? IITTI has identified 4 pillars in which soft skills could be relevant. The first one is the workplace impact or employment readiness, because soft skills can differentiate candidates who have equivalent technical skills. As we mentioned in the previous slide, or in the 2 slides before, soft skills are non-technical skills. The second pillar is the social awareness in the ESG plan that every company now has to develop. Soft skills can be pivotal in social efforts that company needs to comply in ESG standards. In the human, also with AI, in this AI era, soft skills can also be used to measure society's productivity, because as we know, AI, it's changing the concept of productivity, something that we could do, that before in time we could do maybe in 5 hours, now we can do it in 1 minute. So it means that societies need a new way to measure human capital in the future, or not even in the future, maybe in the present. And that's why soft skills shows up as a new way of how to measure this new way to measure GDP in a society. And also with the use of AI, there is ethical awareness that need to be taken into account, because soft skills influence how AI responds, because at the end of the day, soft skills are created by humans and are also used by humans. That's why we need to be aware of, we need to build up soft skills, we need to advance soft skills in people so AI is used in a very ethical way. With these pillars in mind, I developed a comprehensive 20-question survey designed for CEOs or HR directors to assess the development of soft skills within their workforce. Each question is related to one specific soft skills, one of these 20 that are shown there. The responses fit into a soft skills development index composed of 4 sub-indices to evaluate the same 4 pillars mentioned before, which are workforce readiness, social awareness, governance in ESG, economic productivity, and ethical AI alignment. As shown, not all soft skills are relevant for each pillar. For instance, the soft skills that could explain workplace impact or the employment readiness pillar are, if you follow the arrows, you can see are creative thinking, analytical thinking, resilience, collaboration, leadership, curiosity, communication, initiative, problem solving, and their ambiguity. Similarly, if we analyze a different pillar, for example, ethical use of AI, the critical soft skills a person needs are empathy, leadership, ethical awareness, self-awareness, integrity, systems thinking, and civility. After the CEO or the HR director, depending who takes the survey, responds to the 20 questions in a scale to 1 to 7, these are the possible outcomes for each pillar's score. For example, if we continue analyzing the pillar related to workplace impact, we observe that a company may have obtained, for example, a score of 55, which would mean that its workforce has basic employability readiness. And this might impact its succession plan or career development plan within the company. But more importantly, the CEO or HR director can turn this information into actionable decisions. And the same analysis can be done for any other, for all the 3 other pillars as well. Now that we obtain a score for each pillar, the company can calculate its overall score. At this point, we can assign the same weight to each sub-index or assign different weights if IITTI wants to prioritize any of the pillars, or if the company wants to prioritize any of the pillars. What I'm in here is that the formula shows a denominator of 4, because the weight for every single pillar is 1. But if the company, depending on the sector that works in, decides that for them it's more important that the ESG compliance, it might want to assign a weight of 2. In that case, the denominator will turn into 5, and the soft skills development index will adjust accordingly. Similarly, to aggregate the index at the industry level, we need to consider the score obtained by each company. So we have, if we add up all the companies that use the survey in the same sector, we can calculate a sector score as well. As we can see, the denominator is the number of companies, but alternatively, the index can be weighted by the number of employees or the revenue level per company. If the client decides that it's better for them, because it might not, the government, for example, might decide that it's not the same score for a small or micro enterprise than for a big company. In that case, they can weighted average it for the number of employees or the revenue level in that company. Finally, we can apply the same principle that we did for the industry, but for the country. Now that I have explained the public policy product, how can ITTI can monetize it? How it can be used in the daily operations? I am proposing 3 different types of clients. One is multilateral organizations. Second are the governments interested in human capital quality. And third are the private companies interested in human capital quality. I'm not mentioning all the governments, all the private companies, because as we know, not all of them are interested in human capital development at this point. When we talk about multilateral organizations, I divided it in 2 groups. One is the ILO and the United Nations Global Impact, because they usually don't have much resources, but they can be very interested in having a standardized measurement of human-centered capabilities, and they can also be a sponsor for the flagship product that I'm going to explain a bit for ITTI. And also they can subscribe to the data that ITTI has involved in this index. The second group of multilateral organizations are the development banks, the World Bank, the Asian Development Bank, and the Inter-American Development Bank, because they have more resources than the other multilateral organizations, because they at the end of the day, they're banks, and they are interested in using this money and to get revenues from that money as well. So the value proposition for them is that the soft skills development index can be converted into actionable policy reforms, because that's what they do when they work with governments around the globe. And also, how can ITTI can benefit from it? It's getting a data subscription and also being sponsored by these organizations. I am mentioning the sponsor and I am highlighting the sponsorship, because if ITTI can get the sponsorship at least from 1 or 2 of these major organizations, that will turn ITTI immediately in an authority, in an international authority in soft skills development. The second group of clients that might be interested in this soft skills development index are the governments, because a national index could allow the country to compare with international benchmarks, which is the same that happens, for example, with the Global Competitiveness Index. And also, this index, the Soft Skills Development Index, can be converted as well into actionable policy reforms. And the government can apply and use these reforms to improve their workforce in the country. And how ITTI can benefit from it? For example, if it gets government advisory contracts, if it sells certification programs, and I'm going to explain the certification programs in a bit as well, and the training programs that ITTI usually does currently with the World Civility Index. And finally, the third group of clients is private companies interested in human capital development. The value proposition would be that this index can turn abstract soft skills into quantifiable organizational diagnostics. Because as we know, companies include and make a requirement in job descriptions that they want some soft skills in every single of their employees, but they don't have a way to measure it. But with the index, they can. And that will create also recurring revenue through human capital development. How this can work is because they can take corporate assessments every 6 months, every year, and if they find that what is the level of soft skill development within the company, they can work with the employees, each of them, for example, to enter into a training program, and that if every single employee participates in these training programs and it gets them into a higher score, then the certification program will also increase. That certification score for the company will increase. What I mean by the certifications is that the companies, because this survey initially it has been designed for companies. So with this certification, for example, if I mentioned in one of the examples that the company might get a 55 in the score. With a 55, IITTI can issue a silver certificate. And after getting the silver certificate, the company might want to put all the employees into a training program. And then the next year, take the certification again. And in that opportunity, they will aim to get a gold or a platinum certification. And also, this is also, I am proposing an annual flagship report that ITTI can develop with the sponsorship of multilateral organizations, showcasing rankings, sector performance, workforce trends, AI readiness, and policy recommendations. With that flagship, IITTI would be recognized at one of the highest authorities in social skills development. As a conclusion, the Soft Skills Development Index, which I just show you both, helps enterprises, governments, and multilateral organizations strengthen human capital while positioning IITTI as a global authority in measuring and advancing human capabilities. This is all from my side. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes.
Thank
I
you.
will stop sharing, or unless you want to make some questions, I'm open to it. I will leave the presentation sharing.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Very professional. Patrick, any questions from your side?
No, I don't have that many questions because, well, I have been talking to Aldous quite a few times, so I think we understand each other's thinking quite well, and this presentation culminates into something that is very easy to understand for somebody who you know not just a high school person and so on can even understand something like this. So that is the precious part. So and the formulas and so on, they are very easy to comprehend. So I think that's the good part, and is very relevant to what we're doing here at IITTI. And that's why I see the potential of something like this to be really plausible, to be feasible in a big way in that regard. We have some relationship with some governments, and of course we have relationship with quite a few companies, so on and so forth. NGOs or the UN Global Compact and so on, those are the harder ones. Those are the difficult ones. The World Bank and so on, we don't have many tentacles to reach that part yet. But I think starting from the companies, they can already see the benefit in terms of their social corporate responsibility, ESG, so on and so forth. So that's where the opportunities are in that regard. Yeah.
Okay. So Aldo, who writes the first check?
I'm sorry, Professor, what do you mean?
Who writes the first check?
Okay,
for
yeah,
Patrick?
okay, and sorry, yeah, I get it now. The first check, it's written by the companies, because I understand that the IITTI is working very, very hard in Macau, for example, and in Asian and other Asian countries.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that IITTI can start from there, and if then they have also contact with the UNGC. They have participated also in seminars and reunions, and that they can present this. For example, I have read the reports of these annual meetings, and I mean, from my point of view, they are lacking depth. And if IITTI can present this idea in the UNGC, they will be more than happy to have it and to adapt it and to contribute to it.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think the mid to large companies is the best answer. The public organizations are very slow. Global institution like UN is very, very slow. So I think it's better, as you said, Patrick is focusing on medium to large organizations, because maybe they have already the budget for leadership development, for culture measurement, yes, and ESG reporting. So that's the best direction. And I think you also justified in your presentation that why Patrick should focus on that. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I think that's the fastest way. That's the fastest way, without wasting the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. What I'm mentioning, why I keep mentioning the multilateral organizations, I know they are very slow because I have worked in 2 of them, actually 3 of them.
They're very slow. Yes,
I am
very slow.
definitely they are really slow. But the good thing about them, if IITTI at some point can get a sponsorship like this batch on this in this index, that would mean a lot for the states.
I think the medium to large organizations could be in parallel for scaling. For scaling, yes, but that takes many time because they are really slow. Yes.
Yes, they are.
And apart from the money, apart from the check, it needs to be tested in a real world. So that is important, because I think it's a time that this world civility transform itself from the idea and concept to the real application, that somebody is ready to pay for it. Yes.
Yeah.
That's very important confidence for the solution and for the company as well.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I think this is very good. This is very good.
Okay. Yeah.
Any other things, Aldo, you want to add, or Patrick, you want to add here?
Yeah, sure. If we don't need to share this, Aldo, we can.
Yeah, I can stop here.
We
yeah.
can.
Okay. I think that's why we think that there are a lot of opportunity in what Aldo is proposing in the soft skill development index. And the way how I see it is the existing world civility index that we have been using for 15 years is that it is an upstream product, so that employees and university students can earn points. So those are that's the report card. That's the ongoing effort that people would put in it. And then, like Aldo said, once in a while, maybe every 6 months or so, they can go through the soft skill development index kind of questionnaire and self-reflection and have their own scores in that. So they're kind of
Yes.
complementary. The thing that I really like this is well, because we're working with you here, Aldo, that you kind of encompass the core, the World Stability Index into the Soft Skill Development Index. Whereas other measurement system, there are people using, they don't have that upstream World Stability Index as a
Yes.
measurement, as a learning tool. So in that sense, we are creating a more comprehensive system that companies can use, and they can use it to fix it as well. So those are the two components that complement each other, and other tools, other measurement, they just be the questionnaires and so on. So those are the advantages. But I agree with Amir in that the established inertia is definitely there. The good thing is there are already a pretty dedicated group of trainers and training companies around the world using the World Stability Index. And so they're getting into banks, into insurance companies, all kinds of companies in the Philippines, Thailand, TikTok, so on and so forth. So, it's still a very small number, because the world is so big. It's still a drop in the bucket. But they're getting the headway. So in that sense, there are many data points, testimonials we can provide that eventually can allow us to talk to governments, for example. But now the governments are also paying attention. Some governments, like in Malaysia, here in Canada. So those are up and coming, I suppose.
Something that I would like to add is that there is a characteristic that can help also IITTI in the sense that IITTI can be the evaluator or the institution that evaluates the company because they have the tool, but at the same time, they can be the institution that works then in the training of the employees, or because it's the World Stability Index is addressed for a single person, and the Social Skill Development Index is addressed to a company, right? But there is no conflict of interest for IITTI to do the training sessions to the employees because the survey is responded by the CEO or the HR director of every company.
There's no conflict of interest, and IITTI, we are the accreditation body. We keep track of the World Stability Index scores, but the training are actually done by third party. So we have a vetting committee. The vetting committee vets everything, all the training content. It goes through the independent vetting committee. So in that sense, there's the independence in that regard. And this is a good point in that because we are not technically, we're not a training company. A lot of companies, they already have existing leadership programs and so on. They can actually be accredited to have the World Stability Index as part of their bean counting system that is universal. So their employees can earn points that are highly transferable instead of just company specific in that regard. So the vetting committee is the secret sauce for us to succeed and be able to embrace many companies who wants to use something like this.
Okay. Aldo, do you want to add anything, or we can say goodbye to you?
No, that's all from my side. I appreciate the time that you both took today, and I will leave you to your discussion. if that's fine for
I
you.
appreciate, we all appreciate your efforts. It was quite top-notch consultancy, I suppose. I like your presentation. I think Patrick also
Yes,
confirmed that it was, yeah, it was very high quality.
very high quality.
Yeah.
I would
This
love
is what we expect from Aldo. Yes, he is a very experienced person.
I would like Aldo to stay a few more minutes because of I talked to Aldo about this as well, about this tremendous opportunity,
Sure, sure,
so that he can be brief in that sense, and if there's any other more maybe sensitive information and so on, then Amir and I can talk further for a few more
sure.
minutes. The concept, the reason.
Patrick, I'm sorry, maybe you might want to stop the recording, or do you want to continue?
Yes, I think we should stop it so that